Hey, everybody, we're back! It's not the Real Housewives of Alaska. I mean, it kind of is, but it's Marnell and Dianne from Biters.
We now rejoin this originally scheduled program already in progress.
So we had a little bit of an unanticipated hiatus, and we are back to podcast season 6 episode. See, I can't even talk. I was telling Marnell.
I forgot how to do this.
I was telling Marnell I fell asleep earlier because it's so cold and rainy here, and I was like, so I can't talk. We're here to talk about season 6, episode 13 of Fear the Walking Dead, JD.
Yes.
So, I think it might be your turn to give ratings this time.
It might be. We'll just go with that.
Okay, we'll go with it.
So I actually liked this episode. So I don't have a lot of notes on it, so we'll see how long this goes.
Right.
But I gave it a 4 serial killer trophies. So Teddy is I had thought about, like, why is he keeping all of the embalmed people tied up in that weird room? Like, blah, blah, blah. He's a serial killer. Those are his trophies. He's keeping his trophies. He did it way before the apocalypse.
I'm having an ew moment. Ew.
Yeah. He's not, like, keeping their jewelry or their driver's licenses or anything.
He's keeping
not like
them.
BTK. He's keeping them embalmed, tied up in a room. Okay.
Oh my God, I thought of you this morning. I was on Facebook and there was a meme that was something like, really, how many places do you drive by where there's a body in the basement? I thought, Marnell would appreciate this one.
So not a body in a basement, but if anybody is looking for something to watch and they liked the 13 Reasons on Netflix, Hulu has a great, I think it's Hulu. Yes, it's Hulu. Has a great show called Cruel Summer. Kind of a similar feel, but yeah, assistant principal keeps one of the students in a basement.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Hulu, and speaking of the Real Housewives, I've had the opportunity to talk to several coworkers about OnlyFans this week. And I'm like, no, really, if you don't know what it is, you need to go watch the OnlyFans documentary on Hulu.
Okay, so seriously, if you don't know what the Satanic Temple is about, go watch Hail Satan. And if you don't know about OnlyFans, go watch OnlyFans and then listen to the Housewives episodes. Like, some of the greatest TV out there.
Truly.
Yeah.
Because the Housewives are cool. By the way, Tyler Patrick told me that he finally got a chance to watch A Promising Young Woman. He and his wife did. They finally had a little bit of kid-free time because, of course, they didn't want their kids to see it.
Oh, no.
And loved it.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It got a 5 from the house. So, speaking of ratings, what was your rating for this episode?
So, mine was 3.5 family heirlooms out of 5 because I liked the appearance of the pistol and I liked the realization of John Dory Sr. That's my gun you're pointing at me.
Really? There's a lot of JDs out there. Like, even I dated one.
But are there that many JDs with custom pistols with mother of pearl grips?
I think in the South, maybe.
Okay. God, you gotta ruin it.
The JD that I dated, it wasn't like the initials JD. It was JAYDEE. That it was his name.
Okay, that's lame.
Yeah.
That should have been your first clue. Says the woman who is getting divorced after being married for 30 years. So here we are. All right. I do have a few numbers. I did not have any numbers when we originally talked about podcasting this, but we have waited long enough now that there are numbers. So there were 1.09 million same-day views for this episode. It was actually up a tiny bit from In Dreams, which was the episode about Athena and Grace. Mm-hmm. That was 0.99 million, so not quite a million. So the numbers recovered a tiny bit. It'll be interesting to see how the numbers go with the rest of the season. I have a zip about the title. I mean, what can you say about it? It's JD. It's John Dory Sr.
Yep.
Please help me, biters, if I'm missing something really obvious.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just the fact that we thought John Dory was gone, and here we get Gandalf the White.
That was an excellent LOTR reference. I am very proud of you.
I've been saving that one.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. So our writers have both written for the Walking Dead universe before. Nick Bernardone, hope I'm saying his name right, and Jacob Pinion, hope I'm saying his name right. So Nick Bernardone, I remember commenting about him because his picture on IMDb, he looks like such a kid. He looks really, really, really young. And he has written for The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. He's written for 30 Rock. He's actually done a total of 3 episodes for Fear, including this one, Leave What You Don't, and Things Left to Do. And he has served as the staff writer on 14 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. So he's done quite a bit of writing for this series.
Yeah.
Jacob Pinion, he has been a staff writer for 8 total episodes for Fear. He's written 2, this one and Damage from the Inside. And then he also wrote the Althea Tapes, which I remember now talking about him because I went back and watched some of the Althea Tapes and really enjoyed them. Did you go back and watch them at all?
I didn't know. Maybe I did.
They were actually kind of fun.
It's been so long. I think I did because there were some surprising people that showed up in them.
Now we'll have to go back and watch and see if maybe there was some creepy dude named Teddy Maddox. Who knows?
Could be. Although he has been pretty busy in the apocalypse getting that grinder dumpster that like makes mulch out of his followers that are worthy of being mulch, apparently.
Right. That are worthy of being walkers and not just being embalmed walkers,
right.
Which is weird. But do you think they're going to kill everybody with a nuclear submarine?
Okay, so I think they're going to kill a lot of people with a nuclear submarine, and
we are way into rotting potpourri, aren't we?
Yeah, so this is total speculation. And I'm probably wrong, but like my bold prediction would be that yes, they do set off some sort of explosion. I don't know how nuclear. It's going to kill maybe a few of our characters, all of the believers, any of Ginny's crew that's left. And are we gonna wind up underground for a couple of seasons?
Huh. Interesting.
That would be an interesting road to go down.
I wouldn't put it past the 2 knuckleheads.
I wouldn't put past Madison coming back and saving the day.
That's really what the title of the next episode is all about. Yes, neither of us has watched Mother. No spoilers about Mother. I'm not going to look at any news that's going to spoil me about Mother.
Actually, I did watch Mother.
Oh, you did? Okay, don't tell me. I haven't watched it yet because I started to watch it last night and then I fell asleep.
And thankfully, the episode JD and the episode Mother were so completely different storylines that it's not hard to, not cross them. So
I just want to really apologize to people. And I know that I keep saying this, but I've been so bad about editing, but I have to, and this is more Housewives housekeeping, but we're just freewheeling it tonight. I am having to fill out disclosures for my attorneys for my divorce. I applied for a new job and I've been through 3 interviews for my new job. I'm trying to grind out the last 2 weeks at my old job. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And the people who have it in for me at my old job, because I truly do believe there are a couple of people who do, are like packing my schedule as tight as they can. So I am having the craziest, longest, most insane days.
So
Like
I'm
picking parasites off of patients' crazy days.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like probably going to be in a similar boat here very soon. So, my boss put in her notice like 3 weeks ago. They convinced her to stay through mid-June. And then the other accountant in the office, because there's two of us and only two of us. There used to be like 4 accountants in the office, but I digress. He put in his notice. His last day is next week. Next Friday. So
that seems like really short notice, like kind of like a nurse practitioner who gives a month's worth of notice.
It's the standard 2 weeks.
See, we have to give 90 days, and I was able to negotiate mine down dramatically through some crafty maneuvers on my part.
Nah, the 2 weeks is just like a formality. Like it's if you want a good recommendation, you give 2 weeks, but you don't have to give any more than that.
Like, legit, if you want a good recommendation in healthcare, in like the level of healthcare that I work in, 90 days.
Ugh, no
yeah.
Thanks.
And again, the only reason that I'm skating the way I am is because I was a crafty negotiator.
Both of these resignations were out of the blue, and I will be the only accountant for the public health director's office, and I will have no admin manager through reappropriations after a pandemic.
Oh, so, and you know what? Since we're on the subject of housewives housekeeping and we're totally digressing, why don't you tell everybody what happened because of the state of Alaska budget today?
So this actually, I'll preface this by saying this is not the first time this has happened, but I got a 30-day notice for layoff. Per our contract, they are supposed to give us a 30-day notice. They only have to give us a 10-day notice. So if by June 19th, we do not have a budget, we will get a 10-day layoff notice. And it's really just a staring contest between the administration and the state divisions, the departments. And somebody's got to blink first on the budget. And
you did comment that most likely somebody will.
Yeah, I mean, so in 2019, it actually came down to about 48 hours. They were, I think even less than that, because I think they worked late into the night. And it was like 1 or 2 a.m. when they're like, fine, and they signed the budget. But yeah, it didn't happen last year because of COVID, but this is kind of always a thing with state government is, administrations want to cut your budget and everybody else is like, we have been cut to the bone. We can't even, like, literally doing the budget for the director's office. We are not given enough money to actually even cover payroll. Like 12 months of all the positions filled, we are not given enough money for payroll to cover payroll.
So bizarre.
Yeah, and that is with having literally half the staff that we had 6-7 years ago.
So in the middle of a pandemic.
In the middle of a pandemic.
For the Department of Public Health.
Yep. And I mean, the entire state is going to be laid off, like all of the employees. If you have certain bargaining agreements or you are exempt or partially exempt, you will have to report to work even if you are laid off. Which is really lame. I guess that's a personal choice at that point, but yeah, so I am of a bargaining unit that will get laid off and is not deemed essential. We are also dealing with a cybersecurity hack.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Yeah, so the Department of Health and Social Services for the state of Alaska got hacked, and a lot of our systems are offline. So we are already dealing with having some of our servers down, which there was some pretty important information on those servers. And we don't know that we will get them back. And if we do get them back, if they will have all of the information that was on them, or if they will roll them back to a time before the hack. But they suspect, I think it's the same people that did the pipeline hack.
God.
So, yeah, and there's been a number of other hacks in I think Germany's health department got hacked. There was another one today where it was some other federal government agency that's been hacked. Like, they've been busy.
What a bizarre planet we live on.
So they're going to lay off a bunch of IT people when we have a bunch of 3-letter agencies here in town investigating a cybersecurity hack. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not even worried. Like, so here's the thing. If they lay us off, they have to cash everyone's leave out that they lay off. And with the amount of leave that people have built up, that is already a huge fiscal liability. It would be penny wise, pound foolish. It's like, oh, we don't have to pay everyone for like a week while we still argue about the budget, but you have to cash out everyone's, 300 hours of built up leave. Yeah, go ahead. Lay me off. I'll take the month of July off. Thanks.
I'm going to take a whole month off. At least a month off. It's looking like it's probably only going to be a month off, but yeah, I'm going to take a whole month off. I can't believe it. I've never done anything like that.
Envy you.
Okay, I'm sorry. So we totally did some Housewives housekeeping in the middle of other stuff, and let's go back and talk about our director. And I think that you were probably more excited than I was because I think you're cooler than I am.
But I love Aisha Tyler.
Yes. So Aisha Tyler, as most people know, and as I kind of vaguely know, American actress, comedian, director, talk show host. She's got a podcast called Girl on Guy. She worked on Talk Soup. She actually plays in the World Poker Tour, which I didn't realize.
I don't think I realized that either.
She hosts Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I have loved that show since Drew Carey hosted it.
Right?
I also loved the British version, who the host is, I can't remember, but like every once in a while when I can find an episode of that on, I love that show. It is hilarious.
I haven't watched it in a long time because I don't have cable, and my watching time is so limited, and my reading time is so limited. Like, I'm trying to get through rereading the Dante Valentine series by Lilith St. Croix. I'm trying to read a Stephen J. Hawking book. I'm trying to listen to a book about physics. I'm trying to listen to a book about Buddhist love. I mean, I'm trying to listen to all. I definitely don't have time to seek out Whose Line. But Aisha Tyler. So I actually have thought for a long time that I need to listen to her podcast. Have you?
It's one of those things where I have so many podcasts and I'm behind on a ton of them that it's just like, I don't know if I can add any more. But of course the ADHD brain is like, start a new thing before you finish the previous thing. So maybe. But like, where do you start? Do you start with like the current episode? Do you go back 5 episodes? Do you go all the way back to the beginning?
I think with something like hers that's topical, you find something that you're interested in and you listen to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a couple of Buddhist podcasts that I still listen to, and I don't necessarily listen to every single one, but I'll find something where it's like, oh, okay, I'm interested in this topic, and I'll listen to that particular episode. So
yeah, I do that with the QAnon Anonymous guys.
I pay for their Patreon, and I really do need to listen to them more, but again, I just... and the other thing is, I know that I say that there's so much to read and listen to, but I'm so tired. And I think it's going to get better because I think that the quicksand is about to stop shifting, but I'm tired. So,
and I think it also depends on the mood too, because like after the election, it was just like, oh, I don't want to hear anything political for like at least 3 months, And so you get back into a different podcast, and now I'm like, what are they doing? So, yeah, definitely skip around.
All right. So a couple other things I wanted to say about Aisha Tyler. So she went to school at Dartmouth, so she is definitely no slouch. She has done voice work for Archer.
Mm-hmm.
She was on The Ghost Whisperer. I know one of your favorites. She was on CSI.
And Criminal Minds.
Oh, okay, right. I don't think I wrote that down. I didn't really write anything else down about her.
So, funny enough, she was on one episode of Madam Secretary, and our featured cast member, Keith Carradine, played the president on Madam Secretary.
I had a little tidbit about Keith Carradine, and they talked about it on Talking Dead. Do you remember what it was? He was on Deadwood, and he got killed off by Garrett Dillahunt.
Yes. I do remember that. I think I need to, that's another thing I need to catch up on is Deadwood. I don't think I watched, like, the last season. I think probably something started or came back. Well, I was, like, kind of taking a break between seasons, and I just never got back to it. But it's a good show.
So I know it's one of Diana's favorites, and I watched part of it, but I've never watched the whole thing.
There's so much good TV.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Aisha Tyler. I can't believe you watched Talking Dead.
I actually did.
She's so super funny, and I love that she's a super fan and that she put a whole bunch of Easter eggs in the show for geeks.
That was kind of one of the reasons that I was disappointed that I didn't make time to go back and rewatch, is to look for some of the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
I honestly feel that they were, like, a couple of them were so meta that I don't think I would have got them without her pointing them out. But of course, once somebody points it out, it's like, oh, okay, I see it. But I also can't see those hidden picture paintings either, so it's a depth perception issue, though.
That's so funny.
Which I did get new glasses. I had LASIK, like, 6-7 years ago. And I'm finally in the need for
reading glasses?
No.
Oh.
So I had the choice between getting my LASIK touched up for distance vision, because my distance vision is the one that's going. But I read very well. Like, I have no problems, with my up close vision. And so they're like, okay, if we touch up your LASIK for your distance, you're going to need readers. If you don't touch up your LASIK, we can give you glasses for distance, and you just don't use, like, I don't use them for reading. In fact, I find them that I actually have to kind of take them off to read, and I didn't notice that when I had my glasses before LASIK. So I am one of those people now who, like, has to put their glasses on and off.
I do the same thing, and I didn't have LASIK. I'm just getting old, so.
Yeah, and it's especially noticeable for people of our generation where we tend to be on our phones and have TV on in the distance, so I can't flip from one to the other very easily. And I watch a lot of stuff with the subtitles on or that is subtitled, so
you will laugh at me, but one of the very first things I do when I get to Hot Boyfriend's house is I take my glasses off and I put them on his table. And every once in a while he'll smile at me and go, I just love seeing those glasses exactly where they belong.
Aww. I did that old person thing the other day where I was like,
what did I do with my glasses?
I set them down and I couldn't find them.
They were on your head?
No, they were actually like still by the bed. Because I only use them for distance, and it's not so bad that I will need them for it won't be a thing on my license. I'm okay without them. It's just like when I put them on, it's like the world is in HD. So it's almost optional that I use them. I just prefer the world be a little sharper.
Do you know that we said we were going to podcast really quickly because you have one page of notes and we haven't even made it through to our featured cast member yet because we keep digressing into stuff that has nothing to do with fear.
I think we forgot how to do this.
We did.
You're really good at editing.
We did. We're really sorry, you guys. And no, the editor sucks and her pay is really terrible. So.
All right. So we went through kind of Aisha Tyler.
So it's time to talk about our featured cast member,
Keith Carradine.
Keith Carradine.
Yes. And, I did not realize that he was a half-brother to the other Carradines.
Oh, you didn't realize that? I didn't know that he and David were half-brothers, but I knew that they were brothers.
Yeah. I knew they were brothers because, I constantly confused the two.
Oh, how funny.
They have such a similar look and similar voices, but I also didn't realize that Keith Carradine was Martha Plimpton's father.
I didn't realize that either, and I thought that was really cool because she's a fun actress and she's very smart and very interesting on social media. She's very left. Don't hate her. Don't follow her if you don't like what she has to say.
It was him saying something on Talking Dead about being on... He was on one episode of Raising Hope with Martha Plimpton and Garrett Dillahunt. So, I was like, really? How did I miss that? But of course, he didn't even know she was his daughter until she was 5 or 6.
Right. And then he basically was like, her awesome mom welcomed me into their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're fairly close, it seems like. So I will caution everybody that the Twitter account under Keith Carradine is not actually Keith Carradine. It is a fan account that was abandoned in 2015.
Oh, really?
So other than that, there is no social media for Keith Carradine, which really isn't a surprise because 1, generation, and 2, the man is busy.
So I just wanted to point out a couple of cool things that you probably know, and I'm probably stealing a little thunder. He was in the original Broadway production of Hair in 1969.
Yes, and actually he only went to the audition because he took David Carradine to the audition, and Keith got the role.
And I thought this was cool. He was in Material Girl, Madonna's video from 1984.
Oh my gosh, that's something that I did not find.
Now I feel like I have to go back and look at that video. I don't really know for sure that I'm going to, but I feel like I have to. So I'm much more likely to listen to La Vie en Rose because I have this really cool little sister who sent me that song and I listen to it a lot. But
it's like your song now.
It kind of is.
It's adorable.
Yeah, it's adorable.
I'm happy to have been a part of that. So I think one of the other reasons why I confuse the Carradine brothers is they tend to be in a lot of stuff together.
So did you read that Keith actually played a younger version of Kane, which was David's character in the first season of Kung Fu?
Yep, I did read that.
Which I thought was really interesting.
So one of the places that I know both Carradine brothers from is a show that you will find under his self, where he plays himself. They narrate and do stuff like footage for Wild West Tech.
I've heard of that. I've never watched it, but I've heard of it.
Yes. So it's one of those shows that's like you find yourself watching on the History Channel and 6 hours later you're like
6 hours later, you're like, oh my God, I haven't watched Mother for Fear the Walking Dead yet.
So I absolutely loved, there were 3 seasons of Wild West Tech, and it's from way back in the early 2000s. But both Keith and David played characters and then also were hosts of the show. So there was only 25 episodes for the 3 seasons, so it's like a European season, I guess. But it's a series documentary all about the technology in the Wild West, of course. It's pretty self-explanatory for the name. But like for some reason, I vividly remember the episode about the innovations that prostitutes were making. I don't know why that one sticks out.
Oh my goodness. Can you say on G-rated biters what innovations the prostitutes were making?
Well, the one I specifically remember that, like, I literally have the picture in my head is basically in like muddy, like tent cities that they would drape like a big leather cowhide over the end of their bed because the men didn't even take off their boots. So the leather cowhide protected their linens from getting all muddy because, you know, yeah. I don't know why that.
I'm so sorry. That's so disgusting.
Yeah, because you know that's not just mud, because there is a lot of livestock.
Right.
And people.
Yes. Oh. Okay, the thing I want to say about Keith Carradine is that he played Frank Lundy on Dexter, which, I mean, I think both of us love Dexter, and that was a great character.
You know that Dexter is coming back, don't you?
Is it? I know they were talking about a reboot, but Yep. Oh, and it's official, huh?
It is official.
Oh, that's exciting. Is Showtime going to have the property again?
I would imagine so. I don't remember them saying, but I would imagine so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can't remember if Lundy's character
survived.
Right. Did he?
Yeah, I can't either. It's been a long time since I watched Dexter. I just know that I was disappointed with the finale. So I'm glad that they are pulling him back into the universe.
Most people were disappointed with the finale.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I think there was either a comic or a cartoon that continued on the storyline. So, but I kind of have a hard time with that. Buffy did the same thing. They continued on with the storyline in the comics, and I just reading.
So it's a 10-episode reboot, and Michael C. Hall says that it's going to be darker than the original.
Ugh.
Right?
Okay. If you have not seen it before, go on YouTube and look up...
late 2021, it says.
Santa Will Kill You If You're Bad.
Only you would know that.
So he sings the guy who plays Dexter,
Michael C. Hall.
C. Hall was on a talk show, and to the tune of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, he sang Santa Will Kill You If You're Bad.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It's amazing. He's got a great voice.
He's a very talented guy. So this is totally digressing because we're not even talking about Michael C. Hall other than we got distracted by the Frank Lundy Dexter reference. I loved him in 6 Feet Under. He was one of my favorite characters in 6 Feet Under. He was so conflicted and such a mess.
Yes. Yes. And it was a kind of a groundbreaking role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say about Keith Carradine? Because we are so totally all over the map. Oh, my God.
So, like I said, he doesn't have time for social media because he is busy working. He actually has 3 things in post-production right now. So you will get to see a lot more of him after his role on Fear the Walking Dead ends. The first one is The Power of the Dog.
And speaking of the power of the dog.
Right on cue, guys.
And you know what? I'm not going to be able to go up and get Mouse out of the bed, so here we are. And now we've got the toy. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my gosh, Biters is back.
It's so a pair of brothers who own a large ranch in Montana are pitted against each other when one of them gets married. The next movie he is in is called The Daylong Brothers.
Okay, you may need to talk amongst yourselves. We'll give it another minute here.
Okay. And The Daylong Brothers actually sounds interesting. A Southern Gothic tale about
all right.
cursed.
I'm going to mute myself.
You're going to mute.
You keep talking.
I will talk about Keith Carradine's upcoming shows. So The Daylong Brothers, a Southern Gothic tale about three cursed brothers seeking revenge on their long-lost daddy who sold their souls to the devil before they were even born. That one looks really good.
That sounds right up our alleys, actually. I mean, long lost daddy selling your soul to the devil. Yeah, that sounds. I'm there. I'm in.
Yeah. And then the last one, Sallywood, which is a comedy. When Zach, a 20-something writer, moves from Maine to Hollywood to pursue his career dreams, he meets his favorite actress, Sally Kirkland, who hires him on the spot to be her personal assistant and so much more. What am I missing? Who is
Sally Kirkland? She played the original Hot Lips Houlihan in the movie MASH.
Oh, okay. I'm not a big MASH fan.
Yeah.
But apparently Sally Kirkland is also very busy because she's got a lot completed, post-production, and filming. So
okay, I don't want to be awful because I'm 50, but she's old. She's been around for a long time.
Yeah, apparently 70 is the new 40.
Well, that makes me feel a little bit better because, holy cow.
I mean, because Keith is no spring chicken, and he's still as busy as ever. So, and he looks great. But, yes, love Keith Carradine. Great addition to the show. He probably will die in the season finale because I like him. But, yeah, so featured cast member, Keith Carradine.
All right. I have a fairly limited offering from Whisperer's Corner, but I also pulled up a few things for news today, so I'll have a couple of other things. So, people in Britain, I am very sorry. Walking Dead is moving from Fox to Disney Plus. I guess I shouldn't say Britain anymore. I should probably say the UK. I don't know. Jamie Burns, help us out. So apparently Disney Plus bought Fox. And I'm just wondering if people who are watching The Walking Dead in the UK are going to have to pay for Disney Plus. I'm assuming they are.
So when my cable company stopped carrying AMC, I had to drop them, switch to Sling, and buy AMC Plus on Sling. So here we are.
So there is a trailer for season 11, and basically I watched it, and it's just 4 actors totally goofing around. So it's Josh McDermott, it's Eleanor Matsura, Kari Payton, and Paula Lazaro. And they're not in character, they're just being silly, but it was kind of a fun trailer to look at. Eric Kane, his review for this episode, JD, was a missing character returns. And then he's like, all right, you guys, it's not medicine. Just get over it. It's actually John Dory's dad. And I kind of got the feeling that once again, Eric Kane was like, I really think that Fear the Walking Dead is not so great.
Yeah. So he wrapped up his article with, let's see. Yes, the show is bad. I know a lot of people keep saying that season 6 is a massive improvement over season 5, but it's like saying food poisoning is better than antifreeze poisoning. It doesn't make it good, but it probably won't kill you.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah, food poisoning won't kill you, antifreeze poisoning will. So just, pro tip, don't drink antifreeze. Not good for you.
Everything in moderation.
Although, if I remember correctly, and this is not medical advice, Spiders is not giving medical advice, but I think we had somebody poison themselves with antifreeze when I was living in Seward, and I think the antidote is vodka.
Yes, it is. Thank you, episode of House.
See, sometimes they really did get stuff right on House. Actually, I think they mostly got stuff right on House. It was just really obscure. So you and I talked a little bit about this. Robert Palmer Watkins is signed for The World Beyond as a recurring character. So he had a brief role in season 1 of World Beyond where he played a guard named Lieutenant Frank Newton. I don't remember him at all.
I vaguely remember that he had like a solid 3 minutes.
In one season of TV, a solid 3 minutes.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you are promoted from a solid 3 minutes to
a series regular.
Yeah. Good on ya.
Right, exactly.
And I didn't know him really from much of anything before because I do not watch General Hospital,
correct,
Cupid's Match, or The Last 3 Days. So.
Yeah, so here we are, World Beyond. When is that coming back? Did you say sometime this fall?
Yeah, there's no hard date for it to come back yet.
All right, next thing I have is they actually are showing a picture of Michael James Shaw, who is playing a character called Mercer from the Commonwealth, and they're showing him in the armor from the Commonwealth, and it looks like it's a pretty good replica of the comic book drawing.
Oh yes.
So
this actually came up on my feed because Kirk Manley tweeted it.
Yeah.
Spiders alum. You can find him at Batman KM on Twitter, and I very, very highly recommend you go seek him out. He has some amazing original artwork right now. I've
got 2 of them up on my wall.
It's the characters from The Walking Dead, so like Negan and Daryl, and they are advocating for you to get your COVID vaccination. So,
I'll have to look. I haven't looked at Kirk's stuff for a while. That's super cool.
He has a Wonder Woman one.
Ooh.
He says, heroes get vaccinated. Let's be heroes and do our part to fight COVID for ourselves, our families, our friends, and our communities, and our country.
Nice.
See more vaccination campaign art here, and it's at his DeviantArt link. So definitely seek Biters alum Kirk Manley out. I know he probably doesn't listen to the show anymore, but his stuff is so amazing.
Yeah, he's a really great artist.
Yeah.
He really is. I'm looking at a picture right now, which is a poster that he did for Walker Stalker, New York, New Jersey in 2015. And it's the iconic picture of the sailor kissing the nurse in Times Square. But actually, they're both a zombie. Well, he's a zombie, and he's eaten her face off. And I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces of art.
I remember that was in one of your guest rooms at your house.
Yep, now it's in my little, is it a kitchen? Is it an entryway? Is it
an office?
What is it really? We're not really sure, because Diane only has 3 rooms and needs a housekeeper, so...
Again, I envy you. You think it's bad, but I envy you.
Oh my god. Bless her heart. So my former medical assistant, who quit at the same time I did and who totally backed me up, God bless her soul, is actually coming over and doing some housekeeping for me once a week, and I'm so grateful for her. My god. Because all I'm doing is driving to Anchorage, so...
I'm one of those people that's like, I need to clean up. The housekeeper's coming.
Oh my gosh. I'm one of those people who's like, Sue-Ann, I'm really sorry. It's really even more gross than it was the last time you were here.
You know, there's people that totally dig it. I am on clean TikTok, and I follow
Of course you are.
And they are meticulous. And,
okay.
I'm like, could you come to Alaska and clean my house?
Digressing again, the horse TikTok that you sent to me. that I said I wasn't going to share? The giant horse.
Oh, Big John. Mm-hmm.
I shared Big John, and the response that I got was, "Is that a Post-it note on his butt?" So now you have to watch Big John again and tell me if that's a Post-it note on that horse's butt.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no, it was super funny.
This, like, massive Clydesdale that is a rescue from being an Amish workhorse his entire life, and now he's enjoying retirement.
He's beautiful.
He's massive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so next thing in Whisperer's Corner, and we both just discovered this tonight, and Marn was super disappointed. I was disappointed because more for the actors, but Prodigal Son got canceled.
Yeah, it's a good show. I keep up on it. I literally just watched the last 2 episodes that aired, like, within this past week. I mean, I keep up on this show. Tom Payne is amazing. Catherine Zeta-Jones joined the cast. Like,
Lou Diamond Phillips.
And, oh my God, Catherine Zeta-Jones, another one who's made a deal with the devil, because I'm like, wow, she really looks like Catherine Zeta-Jones, but Catherine Zeta-Jones is much, much older. No, it's her. Yeah, deal with the devil.
You know, I'm all about deals with the devil, because de-aging by 10 years is amazing.
Oh, but yeah, I'm so sad that it got canceled. You said that it was being shopped around.
It is to other networks to see if they're going to pick it up. And they made the reference to the TV show Lucifer, which did get picked up by Netflix and finished.
Yes.
But it sounds like maybe they're thinking that it might not be. Yeah.
Well, for what it's worth, if it's get picked up by anybody, I will still watch it. You know, because I pay for all the dang streaming services now,
right.
Except for Disney Plus.
Which is unfortunate because you need to watch Hamilton.
And WandaVision.
And Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And the upcoming Black Panther series that's going to have Denai Guerrero reprise her role. Yep.
Oh, I'm so behind. Oh my God.
I have to get Disney Plus now.
All right, speaking of being so behind, so I have not watched it yet. Army of the Dead, which is the Dave Bautista, Garrett Dillahunt movie. There were a couple of our podcast friends who said it was a total stinker, and they blamed it on Zack Snyder.
I was going to say, my other intro joke for the show was going to be, we're very sorry for the delay in episodes, but we got tricked into watching the Zack Snyder cut again, and we just needed recovery time.
That is it. That is why I'm still so exhausted. It's not my divorce. It's not quitting my job. It's not having this massively packed schedule. It's the Snyder Cut. I'm still recovering from the Snyder Cut. Oh my God.
So, I will say that Army of the Dead was better than I expected, but I also expected a steaming pile of crap. So, I mean, if you can improve upon that, that's awesome. So I watched it, but I waited till it was free on Netflix. They did this weird thing where they like released it in theaters, and then like a week later it was free on Netflix. And I'm like, what? What? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why would I leave my house to pay $20 to go see it when I can watch it next week for free?
With people who are lying about being vaccinated and not wearing masks. Come on.
Right?
Okay.
So
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, we actually just had our first drag show in Juneau in 15 months. And it went off so well. And the people they had to show their vaccination card at the door. And it was a packed house. And everyone complied. And everyone had a good time. And they said it was just like the before times. It was
okay, this is really bad, but I need to find my card.
Oh, no.
Because I'm pretty sure that my current, soon-to-be former employers are going to be like, you lost your vaccination card? We're really super sorry. Go to hell.
Oh, yeah, you got to find... Did you not take a picture of it?
No.
Oh, I have a picture of it saved on my phone because I don't carry it around.
Good point. I'll find it. I'm sure it's on Backtrack.
So I did buy a couple of buttons off of Etsy that, say I'm vaccinated.
I know, right? And I haven't seen them yet.
I just got the Hamilton one like 2 days ago.
Not throwing away my shot.
Yeah, so I'll send those to you. But Etsy also has, somebody is like making these. Did you ever watch The Fifth Element?
Yeah, but I wasn't into it.
Okay, so you know the scene where she's like, Lilu Dallas multipass.
Yeah, kinda.
They're making the multipass holder to hold
funny.
your COVID vaccination cards, and I kind of think I need one.
Oh my god, how funny!
They're like $12. Like, 3D printers are amazing.
I still think I need one of those amazing tulle robes like Chrissy Teigen has from Etsy.
Yeah, I'm so shocked my husband was just murdered.
Yes,
robe.
yes,
Yeah.
I totally need one of those. Okay, sorry, we're digressing again. I have more news. Okay, so Norman Reedus is starring in a reboot of a 60s show called Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I'm kind of like, okay, really, do I need to watch this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
60s sexploitation film. Like, do I need to say more?
I know, but, do I watch Falcon and Winter Soldier? Do I watch Danai Gurira reprising her role in the new Black Panther series? Or do I watch Faster Pussycat Kill Kill?
Or D, all of the above.
I don't have time for all of the above. I'm still working on finishing John Wick 3, which, by the way, I am officially now in love with the John Wick movies. Because they're beautiful.
Who needs sleep? Just watch TV.
No, I need more than just watching TV. I don't need sleep. I need more than just watching TV.
Ugh, I don't.
All right. I don't know if I have any more news. Let me look really, really, really fast.
Now, the only thing I want to say is they are really, really hyping the finale for Fear the Walking Dead this season. There is a article on comicbook.com. Fear the Walking Dead star teases final 2 episodes of season 6. They are just massive. And so it's Alicia Debnam Carey saying that if the episodes are on a huge scale, it's unlike anything they've ever done.
Did you hear that, Steve? Massive.
And incredibly emotional and powerful. So, I mean...
Look, all I have to say, and you and I talked about this before we signed on, I actually am finding myself missing the days of seasons 1 and 2 of Fear, and I would like to just transport John Dory, not Senior, Junior, and June back to seasons 1 and 2 of Fear and like reboot the whole thing.
So you and I talked before the podcast about doing a retrospective of the first couple of seasons during
I don't know
break.
that I want to do a whole retrospective. I might just want to watch like the first episode again.
Well, I told you that I had a surprise for you, and I was going to wait for
spring
the
it on
podcast
me.
to tell you.
Spring it on me.
June 17th on Netflix, Black Summer season 2.
No!
Yes!
And I'm not going to be working. I know what I'm doing on June... Well, unless I'm doing something else on June 17th.
Something else. Someone. Yeah, so
Yay!
I think we found what we are going to do.
That's so exciting.
In the interim, probably like every other Walking Dead podcast out there, we will be probably reviewing Black Summer season 2.
Oh, I am so happy.
They better not mess it up.
They better not mess it up because it was so good.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy it's back.
I may actually have to make Hot Boyfriend watch that because
Oh.
he watched the first couple of episodes of Walking Dead and he was kind of like, and which is fine. I mean, he doesn't have to be in love with The Walking Dead. He has to appreciate me. But we may have to watch Black Summer.
Yeah, maybe slow zombies just aren't his thing. He needs the fast zombies.
It is funny. He did comment about slow zombies. So
yeah, see? It's a thing.
So actually, next on the list after John Wick, Lion in Winter. Ever watched it?
I don't think so.
Okay, great movie, old movie. Peter O'Toole, Katharine Hepburn, Anthony Hopkins, Timothy Dalton. The guy who plays Arthur in Excalibur, and I can't remember his name. They basically play Henry II, Eleanor of Aquitaine, and their kids, including, King John and Richard the Lionheart. And it is incredibly well written, very acerbic wit, wonderful movie.
Okay, that sounds way too cultured for me.
It's pretty cultured. And no, it's not in black and white, and I don't think there's an audiobook. And we're digressing yet again. So is there anything else for housekeepings? Because if there's not, we're moving on to our goods, bads, and uglies.
Yep. June 17th, Black Summer Season
Oh my God,
2.
that's so exciting.
So excited.
I'm very excited.
All right. Are we into our goods, and bads, and uglies? Because
We are.
Okay. My good is something that I belabored a couple of episodes ago. I am so glad John finally got the funeral he deserved. I kind of agree with Eric Kane about the whole, it's, interesting that, like, he talks about his dad in the letter and June, like, waits to read it and his dad is there.
Okay, thank you. That was, like, the one, I was like, really? She carried that around all that time and didn't read it? Are you kidding me?
Right?
Because I'm like, I go back and read the texts that hot boyfriend and I exchange on a regular basis.
I was going to say, didn't, God, what is his name? Dwight. He, like, read Sherry's little things, like, so much that, like, they were tattered. So that's what I would expect that June would do. And maybe she'll do that now that she's read it. Maybe she just had to be ready to read it. But nonetheless, I love that John finally got the funeral that he so well deserved. And even though I think it was a, huge coincidence that his dad happened to find June right after he was killed, I'm glad his dad was there. I'm glad June was there, and
I do have to say that I Love You, Junebug did make me tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not completely cold and dead inside like some people I know.
I don't think I teared up or got misty, but it tugged at the heartstrings.
Good.
Yeah. So,
not like the flowers from your sister, but who's a jerk. But
and chocolate and bath salts.
Thank you.
Bath salts, that might explain.
Thank you, Shenandoah Grand Poobah Gore, because it was her idea.
Okay, thank you. They're beautiful. Okay, so what was your good?
My good was I was actually really glad that it looks like John Dory Sr. is more than just a one and done. Because I was really worried that as this series is often want to do, that they were going to hire a really great actor and then kill him off in the same episode.
He did get gut shot in this episode, so I thought so too. I was like, oh my God, is she really going to lose 2 John Dorys to bullet wounds that she can't help?
Could we please gut shot John Glover? We'll see if I say that after I watch Mother.
Not saying anything.
All right, so what was your bad?
Okay. We have ragged on her for a couple of episodes now, and I will preface this by saying that it all came out good in the end, and I love her as a human being. Go follow Evangelista.
Christine Evangelista.
Christine Evangelista on Instagram. She's a lovely human being, but when Sherry ran that horse to death and casually shot it in the head, I kind of wanted to do the same thing to her.
So this is... Oh, go ahead.
I have been so mad at her character, and Eric Kane was talking about the same thing, where it's just Sherry has been unbearable. Again, Christine Evangelista, lovely woman, and I like the way that Dwight and Sherry ended the show. They came back together. She had her breakdown. Like, it was all great, but like her in the middle of the episode when she was running that horse to death and she was freaking out about Negan, didn't like it. Nope, not good.
Horses and kids. Horses and kids.
That on Talking Dead when Aisha Tyler was talking about the horse and how he just did not want to stay there.
Right. That was so funny. But I will tell you, they will lay down when you don't want them to. And they will look dead when you don't want them to. Because I was looking up the hill the other day and I was like, I know that horse is just laying there in the sun. I know that horse is just fine.
So I actually follow someone on TikTok who has a horse that will lay out near the road in their pasture, and people will drive to the
I've
house.
I've seen that horse. Yes.
Your horse is dead.
Yeah.
And they've actually put up a sign, but people still come up and they're like, no, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Yeah, no.
Like, unless you see vultures picking at his eyes, he's fine. He's just laying down. So, what was your bad?
So, before I get to my bad, I want to see something about Sherry, not Christine Evangelista. When did she become such a badass? Like, all of a sudden, she's this, like, crack shot, and she's like, no, I got him, I'll gun him down. And June's like, no, he might know something, don't kill him. I'm like,
she's been hanging out with those maskers.
I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
See, that's what happens when you wear a mask. You're cool, and you become a good shot. Wear your mask. Don't throw away your shot. All right. So my bad was actually, I felt like there were too many storylines in this episode. I was like, okay, we've got Grace, Morgan, and June, and Morgan being really pissed off. And then we've got the June, John Dory, Teddy story. And then we've got Dwight and Sherry. And I'm not one who's like, we should have more episodes of Fear and we should deeply explore this one topic in this one episode. That's not me, typically. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we would have been better served if this had just been the John Dory and June episode.
Yeah, I could see that. But again, I feel like the other storylines that were sort of shoehorned in the middle, like, they weren't deserving of their own episode. They weren't big enough storylines. Like, I'm really glad that they wrapped up the whole Sherry's gonna go back and kill Negan thing in this episode, and, you know, maybe...
But they could have done it in any episode. I just wish that they would have, like, really honed this one in a little better, because John Dory coming back, although I have some issues with that, is interesting. The whole serial killer plotline, it's interesting. His interaction with June, it's interesting. I felt like all the other stuff was just too much. I felt like I was kind of ping-ponging around, and maybe it's just because I'm tired.
You know, and I mean, there's a few episodes that have kind of done that, where it, you know, we go and then there's the episodes where we sort of touch bases with everybody, and it's cool. So I didn't feel that way, but I get it. Yeah.
So you're ugly.
My ugly was a very small ugly, but it was a fun, funny ugly. Keith Carradine got the best line in like 2 seasons. Sperm to worm.
Oh my God, I totally missed that line. I feel really bad that I missed that line.
That was his line about Teddy's whole cult, that, you know, he believes that, you know, people are whatever from, and his line was from sperm to worm, and of course the worm being that they're making them mulch. Oh my God. Like, I lost it. Seriously, the best line. And it was so tiny and so throwaway. Like, you probably didn't hear it. You didn't hear it. Yeah. Best line in like 2 seasons. Loved it. So
that would be like the one reason that I might actually go back and watch this again.
So whoever wrote that for Keith Carradine, or if he improv that, bravo.
Huh.
So very small ugly, but it was fun. It was funny. It was good. What was your ugly?
So my ugly was actually a bad ugly, and you mentioned it. And I'm not usually one to gripe about coincidences. That was Brian's bag. But seriously, the coincidence of John Dory Sr. finding this particular group after being completely MIA for 40 years. It was a bit much.
Yep. And so Eric Kane pointed that out a lot in his article about the episode. And he makes a lot of good points about how they were in the same general vicinity. They were in the same kind of line of work, running in the same circles. Like, how did they not run into each other over 40 years? And then June finds him just after John dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little bit too coincidental, but...
And I mean, the Walking Dead universe runs on coincidence. We know this. And that's why typically I'm not the person who's like, this is a coincidence and this is really ticking me off. But this time I was like, okay, this coincidence is just a little bit over the top.
Okay, so I said I wasn't going to say anything about next episode, but if you don't like coincidences...
Oh, no. Maybe I should skip it.
Next episode's going to grate on you.
Oh, dear.
You can't skip it because there's no Memorial Day weekend episode for Fear the Walking Dead. So we do have a chance to catch up.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
But, okay, I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm probably not going to watch it tomorrow because I'm going to be cleaning. And
That's
you
fine.
know I'm not going to watch it on Sunday. So... Although maybe I need to watch it tomorrow so I don't have to worry about trying to watch it on Monday.
Okay, so here's what I do. You know how I always watch it twice. Well, the first watch, I don't take any notes because I have to know what notes I kind of have to have a general idea of what I'm going to write about. And so I can do other stuff while the episode is running in the background.
Yeah, no, you and I are totally different in terms of the way that we watch.
Yeah, our brains just work differently.
They do. Because you like clean and do dishes and all that kind of stuff, don't you?
Or I format spreadsheets and like download reports and things like that. So,
not me. Nope.
Yep.
Nope. Have to watch it. Like, watch it.
Yeah.
All right.
I do have to say that when I am doing like work from home and I have the TV on something
you're like
that
actually
is not
working.
I don't claim the time as actual work time because I am doing personal stuff at the same time. I feel, but it's like busy work that I like need to get done during the day that I'm like, I'm far too overpaid to format spreadsheets. Like I need an assistant for this, but yeah, so I just have to say that you're not wasting your tax dollars on me. Watch Fear the Walking Dead. All right, so I think we are solidly into Rotting Potpourri.
I think we are. And you said you didn't have much to say. I have a little to say.
Yeah, so you already mentioned one of the things that I have to say. And again, Eric Kane talked about it in his article. Morgan being mad at June. I don't really understand. Like, I don't think June could have helped. I mean, if the baby truly died because of the radiation, there was really nothing that June could have done.
I'm actually really glad you brought that up because that really, like, the whole Morgan being angry thing just really made me mad. I was like, really, Morgan? And then you're not going to even let June go examine her? Seriously?
Yeah.
She just lost a baby. She's completely postpartum. She's completely depressed. And you're not going to let the closest thing you have to a healthcare provider look at her? Come on.
Right? And, like, we all haven't been through crap. I mean... June just lost to John, and she was there to check up on
Grace.
Grace, thank you. So, like, she was putting her stuff aside for Grace. Why can't you put your stuff aside for... I was so mad at Morgan this episode.
Yeah, I was too.
And then at the end, when he's just like, oh, you found John's dad? Well, welcome.
Right. Now it's okay. Now it's fine.
Now it's okay.
And I'll let you talk to Grace, too.
Oh, and by the way, like, we don't want you to come into the compound, you know, to check Grace, but we're totally going to let Dakota stay with us, even though she murdered John!
Right.
Yeah. I was a little peeved at Morgan this episode, so I really hope that gets better.
That was actually the first comment I was going to make, was that I was a little peeved. That's a good word, at Morgan. I liked the shot of the end as the beginning from above at the very beginning where they showed that. I thought that was pretty cool.
I have to wonder about those, that it's like...
I mean, how did they actually make it happen, right?
But then again, I mean, if you zoom in on Google Earth on the Nevada desert, there are these giant glyphs that people have done in the desert that can really only be seen from, like, lower atmosphere. So, I mean, how are those done? So, I get it. But, yeah I was just enough. Like, that's a lot of white paint to haul around.
They stole it from Wes.
Weird things that like come to my mind. I'm like, okay, gas is at a premium at this point, so like you've got like what, 200 pounds worth of painting supplies in your truck that like, yeah. I'm sitting here doing math. So speaking of vehicles, I actually did not like the walker under the RV stuck in the drive shaft.
Oh, really?
It didn't do much for me. And what was funny is the other half was like, that's a super juicy walker. And I was
like... and we're really far into the apocalypse. It shouldn't be that juicy.
Yeah. But I was like, you know what? I bet that's like power steering fluid mixed in. But I was close. It was like brake fluid, or so. It was some other fluid that, and I know like one of the fluid that likes to leak out of my Jeep is red.
The Jeep that our brother is taking?
The Jeep the brother is taking. Like, I don't ever have to change that liquid. I just keep refilling it. I mean, the grass is never coming back where the Jeep is parked.
That actually terrifies me from so many standpoints.
I know. It's awful. It's awful. But yes, my lawn ornament Jeep is going to our brother because, I'm not going to keep my post-apocalyptic vehicle running. It really only takes a Phillip head screwdriver and a monkey wrench. Like, it's one of those that will survive anything. It's a tank.
At least you'll know where to find it.
Right. It's a 1972 Jeepster Commando. It's a pretty awesome vehicle. It's my first vehicle. It's what I learned to drive in. And I inherited it from my dad, which, God, I gotta go get that retitled. It still is in my dad's name. Yeah. My COVID. Like, that's my excuse, COVID. So.
All right. I was happy to see that they made June use a crank flashlight. No batteries. She actually had to wind up and crank the flashlight.
Yes. So, I there's ones that you can like shake, and then there's ones that you can crank. I was really impressed that like there was one handy when she needed it right there. But again, coincidence. What are you going to do?
It's a better coincidence than finding someone who's been lost for 40 years.
Yeah. I loved the tracking Teddy wall.
Yeah. Because it kind of
was...
made you think of all of those serial killer movies that you love.
Well, it also makes me think of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and one of the characters, it's a meme that you see constantly on the internet where he's like trying to explain a conspiracy theory, and he's got like a whole bunch of stuff pinned up and the string strung from one thing to the other, and like he's got this wild-eyed look in his eye, like so it just always like it made me think of that. So I thought that the trapping of June in the back of the store was super obvious. Like, let's go take a look to see if the initials are still there. I'm like, really, June? You're not that gullible. Like, where was your head? No, he's totally going to lock you in the back room.
Too funny.
And I'm pretty sure that back room had a window. Like, why didn't you break it out? Yeah. Because, I mean, it had a lot of light in it, so that's why I assumed there was a window. But it gave Sherry and Dwight an opportunity to hear her beating on the walls, trying to get out, and they all reunited for the inevitable saving of John Dory the White.
I did want to say about Dwight and Sherry, I did really, and I'm just sappy, liked Dwight's speech about, they were two people like us separated. It was just sappy. It was just a sappy love speech.
Yeah, I think I overlooked that because I was just so happy for, like, the Sherry, like, disengaging from Dwight, that storyline seems to have come to an end.
Right.
Yeah. Happy about
agreed. I thought another coincidence that was interesting was that Dwight and Sherry found June's jacket, thereby restoring the letter to her possession.
Yeah, because, like, how many articles of clothing are just strewn about? And this one actually happened to have, like, conveniently
caught on a branch.
On the tree.
Yeah.
I was actually really surprised that, so the other half was like, why didn't she bring the coat in? And I was like, yeah, why didn't she? But then, of course, you're breaking into somebody's RV before you try the door. But anyway, and maybe if you want to make a quick exit, you don't want to get all cut up while you do it. So you leave the coat hanging over. So, I mean, I could see that she left the coat there, but, and of course forgot about it because John Dory Sr. kind of jumped her.
Sorry, that was a bad visual that had nothing to do with the episode.
Wow, who would have thought that I had the least dirty mind of the two?
Oh, God.
I did like her move, though, that when she swerved to knock him over.
Oh, right.
I thought that was very smart of her to do
that. But
that.
she also jacked up the RV, and I totally cracked up because I was like, well, so this guy is no Dale. Because Dale would have been like under there going, I can totally fix this. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry about it.
He would have been like, I need a wrench and a garden hose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Glenn, you need to give me my tools back.
Oh. Let's see.
I don't know that I have anything else. I mean, I did write that I was pretty sure that John Dory Sr. was now going to help Morgan take on the big bad, and they're going to be the death of Teddy, the serial killer. But after he takes out a bunch of people with his nuclear submarine.
Yeah.
Thereby changing the Beatles song completely. We all die in a nuclear submarine.
Oh, yeah. I'll be glad when the submarine storyline is wrapped up. Like, I'm cool with the whole cult thing, sperm to worm, let's embalm anybody who is not worthy. I'm totally down with that, but I feel like they could have, I don't know, like if they'd had some forethought, they would have mixed the nuclear power plant meltdown with the whole we're going to destroy the world thing instead of bringing in a submarine. Like, I feel like, yeah, it could have been done better. But here we are.
What'd you say? We still have 3 more episodes? Ugh.
Yep, 3 more episodes.
So Thomas O'Mara just tagged me on Facebook and he's like, which episode are you guys podcasting? I'm like, JD. And he's responding now. I'm sure he's gonna like harsh on us for being so far behind. So he's gonna harsh on me and say it's my fault. And
he did ask me like why I was so surprised that in a show that we belabor that doesn't, oh God, I forgot how he phrased it, but that I was so excuse me, I was so surprised that the baby died and not Grace, in a show that we say, doesn't drop us enough hints or clues or something like that. But But I really was, because they kept hyping it up that Grace was going to die. Grace was going to die. Grace was going to die. And like I said, babies are, and this is going to sound terrible, so bear with me. Babies are really disposable in shows.
Ow.
That, like, you can show them for an episode or two, and then somebody else takes care of them, and like 6 episodes later, they're 3. You know, like it's so easy to be like, oh, baby storyline, and then be like, okay, that's over. You know, it's a little harder to be like, lady who lost her baby that one of the main cast members is in love with. Like, so I just felt like, okay, Grace's storyline was coming to an end, and we were going to have baby Morgan and Grace's baby raised together. That was going to be our, you know, our children in our little collective. So I really, really thought it was going to be Grace dying.
It may still be.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought we were gonna have baby left over, but I still think Grace is dying, but I thought we were gonna have baby.
Okay, I have a rating for this episode from Thomas O'Mara. 4.45 crying JDs out of 5, and he said June Dory. So there's another JD, June Dory. I missed it completely because I'm lame.
Good on ya. Very nice. Very well done. Look at that. Awesome. And I thought it was funny that, so.
And he said for mother, 4.5 extremely late podcast out of 5.
So I did notice that Jenna Elfman, she was going to be live on Twitch after The Talking Dead. And I thought it was funny. She's like, send coffee. And I had talked about before where she had thanked Thomas O'Mara for sending her Starbucks gift cards because, yeah, she has a coffee habit. So I kind of felt like that was a direct shout out to you, Thomas O'Mara. Send her coffee because she's going to be on Twitch, you know, late at night. So
nice.
I did think of you, Thomas, on that Talking Dead. So one thing that I didn't mention about Keith Carradine that I wish I could find it. I can't find the name of the song, but he is an Oscar and a Golden Globe
right.
winner.
I remember reading that. Yes.
Yeah.
He put out a couple of albums, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like back in the 70s, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah. The song is called I'm Easy.
That is not a nice thing to say about yourself.
You know? He's honest. So, yeah, I thought that was super impressive that way back before I was born, the man was winning Oscars and Golden Globes for something that, like, he's not even doing now. He's like, okay, I did that. Moving on.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Anything else about this episode?
No. Sorry it was so late. Thank you for sticking with us with all of our rabbit holes that we went down.
Oh,
but
good Lord. Yeah, Spooky Chef in a big way, man.
Catching up to do. So yeah, we are going to have time to catch up with our podcasting for Fear the Walking Dead Mother episode, and also Crime of the Century Part 2 for The Real Housewives.
Which I think my job tomorrow, after I do some cleaning up around the house, is to edit both and get them both up. So I will try to have both Crime of the Century Part 1 and this posted for tomorrow.
Awesome. So, yeah, there is no Fear the Walking Dead episode this Memorial Day. Everyone, thank you for your service and sacrifice to this country. If you have somebody you are remembering on this Memorial Day. But until then, just remember,
take it one dead day at a time.
Have a good week, everybody.
Have a good week and have a good holiday weekend.
Bye.
Bye.